I was discussing this video with some of my high pre-drive club members. In it, Ren here, she's an adolescent, and she was suddenly on a walk terrified of this log that we must have passed millions of times ever since she was a puppy. And suddenly she was terrified. She started barking at it, and her little hackles were up. And so what I did was I stayed there and I just left her off the lead. It's just a log. It can't do any harm for her to investigate it. So I let her go back and forth. Every time she came away, you can't see it on the video, but every time she came away, I threw food behind me away from the log so that she started to learn that coming away from things that frighten her is a possibility, because not all dogs understand that it's a possibility. So we stood there for a while, and you can see as she's going back to investigate it, she's getting less fearful. She's got less of that like head forward but body weight backward posture that she had at the start. And then I could go right up to it and say, well, there we go. It's just a log. It's nothing to be frightened of. Now that sort of fear response that she had there is really common in adolescent dogs. They're neurologically, they undergo a lot of changes, and it's really common for them to suddenly become frightened of everyday things, and suddenly for them to become quite reactive to them. So typically, if I can, I will take enough space so that they're not terrified. You can't do this with a dog that's in a panic response. But if they're just unsure, I'll often just take a little bit of space. I will typically, as the dog disengages, I will toss food away from the thing, so that just to help them understand that moving away is possible. Not all dogs know that. And then I just hang out. I don't really do anything else. I just hang out. I speak to them. I'm reasonably calm about it all. And I just wait. And oftentimes what they want to do is investigate. Like when something's frightening, it's very common to want to go towards it to see exactly what it is and how big of a threat is it. That's like a normal fear response for many, many beings. So what I like to do is provide a bit of support, as in coming away is a great thing to do. And you can come away and eat. I would never put the food closer to the thing, because I don't want food to lure a frightened dog closer to something that's scaring them. That's why it's a bad idea if you've got a dog that's frightened of people to have people give them food, because what that can do is the food can lure them too close to the person who's scaring them. But giving them food coming from a safe person and being delivered away from the frightening object is a really good way of helping support that sort of recovery that Ren went through there. So that's typically my response with, certainly like with adolescent dogs, where it's a transient fear response that's just come out of the blue. I'll typically do that. I would do something differently if she was barking and lunging at somebody who was coming towards us. I would move out the way. I certainly wouldn't leave her off the lead to frighten somebody. I would have moved away if it had been a person. And if she was absolutely terrified, I would be taking space away from it rather than hanging out. I wouldn't stand so close if she was showing an extreme fear response. Or if she was an adult dog that I knew had suffered trauma and whose responses to frightening things were going to be more heightened. In the video, I'm working there with an adolescent spaniel who had a great start in life and was living in a nice home and hadn't suffered any trauma. So, but you can see she got over it really quickly, and that's typically what I want to see with adolescent dogs. So I hope this has been helpful for you. Do let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.